Welcome to the video replay for Double Up Trivia for June 21st, 2020. While this video just contains the questions and answers, the live event, which streams Sundays at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad, features live scoring and competition among teams. Rounds 1 and 2 each have 8 questions. During the actual live trivia event, teams will complete answer sheets and submit them at the end of each round. The value of each question is determined once all the answers are submitted. The value of each question is based on the difficulty as determined by the number of correct answers for each question, so it's a truly dynamic scoring system that depends on each quiz's participants. Also, teams get to double the value of one question per round. For the video replay, I'll read the question and then pause for a few seconds. If you want more time to think about the question, simply pause the video playback. Each question will be followed by its answer. In the live event, teams would see all 8 questions prior to submitting their answers. Round 1. Question 1. In May 2020, what live-action sitcom was renewed for a 15th season, meaning it will surpass The Adventures of Ozzie and Harriet to become the longest-running live-action comedy series in American television history? And the answer is It's Always Sunny in Philadelphia. Round 1. Question 2. What word, also a name, belongs in the red space between the forerib and the neck in the diagram below? And the answer is Chuck. Round 1. Question 3. One of the possible origins of the name of what alcoholic drink, which John Lennon said tasted like milkshakes, is that it was named after a Russian Tsar. And the answer is Brandy Alexander, one of Lennon's favorites. He was introduced to it during his Lost Weekend with Harry Nilsson, a weekend in which the duo was thrown out of a venue while heckling the Smothers Brothers, and Lennon assaulted a waitress. Round 1, question number 4. Alfonso Ribeiro recently withdrew a suit against the makers of what video game, which allows players to perform the Carlton, a dance he invented for the Fresh Prince of Bel-Air? And the answer is Fortnite. A federal judge also recently dismissed a suit against Epic Games brought by 2 college basketball players who accused the company of using a dance they claim to have created. Round 1, question number 5. What California island, the spring training home of the Chicago Cubs until 1951, was developed by William Wrigley and is home to the first theater designed and built specifically for talkies? And the answer is Catalina Island, or Santa Catalina Island, located about 30 miles off the coast of Long Beach. Round 1, question number 6. The diacritical mark used to indicate that a vowel has a long sound written as a horizontal line above the vowel shares its name with what current European head of state? And the answer is Emmanuel Macron. The diacritical mark gets its name from the ancient Greek word for long. Round 1, question number 7. The work of what painter who emigrated from Russia to the United States at the age of 10 is typified by canvases containing rectangular blocks of color with fuzzy, undefined edges? And the answer is Mark Rothko. In 2012, one of Rothko's paintings, Orange Red Yellow, sold at auction for $86.9 million. And the last question for round 1, question number 8. What word, which comes from a root meaning leg, is a type of chess opening in which a player sacrifices one or more pieces in order to gain a more advantageous position? And the answer is gambit. That completes round 1 and brings us to the data dash round, which occurs between rounds 1 and 2. The Data Dash round has 4 questions, each of which has a numerical answer. During the actual live trivia event, teams give answers for all 4 questions in less than 2 minutes. Then, for each question, the teams are ranked based on how close their answers are to the correct answer. The team with the closest answer gets 4 points, the next closest team gets 3 points, and so on, but no team ever receives fewer than 0 points. The 4 questions for this week's Data Dash. Number 1, in seconds, what is the record time for the Kentucky Derby, achieved by Secretariat in 1973? Number 2, in what year was the first synthetic element, technetium, created artificially? Number 3, how many videos on YouTube have over 1 billion views? And number 4, what is the permanent seating capacity of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway? And the answers for number 1, the record time in seconds is 119.4 seconds, so just under 2 minutes for Secretariat in 1973. For number 2, technetium was created artificially in 1937. Number 3, YouTube, as of the date of this video, has 228 videos with over 1 billion views. And number 4, the permanent seating capacity of the Indianapolis Motor Speedway is 257,327. That completes this week's Data Dash and brings us to round 2, which works exactly like round 1, with scoring based on the question's actual difficulty and teams having the ability to double the value of 1 question. Round 2, question 1. What governor of Judea was preceded by Valerius Gratus and succeeded by Marcellus? And the answer is Pontius Pilate. Round 2, question 2. What soul singer with a 5-octave vocal range, whose biggest hit was 1974's Lovin' You, was the mother of Saturday Night Live alumnus Maya Rudolph and died of breast cancer at the age of 31? And the answer is Minnie Riperton, whose hit Lovin' You was co-produced by Stevie Wonder, peaked at number 1, and was certified gold 3 days later in April of 1976. Round 2, question number 3. An element in the periodic table is named after a state. Another element is named after a city in that state. What are both the city and state? And the answer is Berkeley, California. Both elements were discovered or synthesized at the facility now known as the Lawrence Berkeley National Laboratory. Round 2, question number 4. The mascot for what company has the proper name Bartholomew Richard Fitzgerald Smythe and recently perished in an advertisement with his funeral attended by Kool-Aid Man and Mr. Clean? And the answer is Planters. And the magic of Kool-Aid Man's tears combined with sunlight created Baby Nut, a new Planters mascot. Round 2, question number 5. What Brit is the only writer to win 4 Tony Awards for Best Play, one of which was for his most famous play, an absurdist comedy that draws comparisons to Waiting for Godot due to the actions or inactions of its 2 titular central characters? And the answer is Tom Stoppard, whose most famous play is Rosencrantz and Guildenstern Are Dead, which begins with Rosencrantz betting on coin flips, betting heads each time, and winning 92 consecutive flips. Round 2, question number 6. The founder of what website received an email from an early user of the site explaining that the user was, in fact, a collector of broken laser pointers? And the answer is eBay. The first item sold on eBay was a broken laser pointer. The seller, eBay's founder, Pierre Omidyar, contacted the winning bidder to make sure he understood that the laser pointer was broken. Round 2, question number 7. The phenomenon that occurs when an attempt to remove or censor something has the opposite effect, namely drawing attention to that thing, is named after what entertainer who attempted to keep photographs of her Malibu home out of the public eye? And the answer is Barbra Streisand. She sued to have the photo of her mansion removed from a publicly available collection of photos. Due to the Streisand effect, the photo was viewed more than 420,000 times, and she lost the lawsuit. Round 2, question number 8. What 1932 Howard Hawks movie, subtitled The Shame of the Nation and based on a novel by Armitage Trail, was remade in 1983 and is slated to be remade again, this time with a script written by the Coen brothers? And the answer is Scarface. That completes round 2 and brings us to the final round for Double Up Trivia, round number 3. For round 3, the teams are given a category with approximately 10 answers. Each team submits exactly 5 answers. Those answers are scored based on how common or rare they are. The rarer the answer, based on the actual responses from all the teams, the more points the answer is worth. And this week's final question. Since Gerald Ford lost his re-election bid to Jimmy Carter in 1976, there have been 10 members of either the Democratic or Republican Party who have received their party's nomination and not won the presidency. Name 5 of the 10 major party losers. And the answers for this week's final question are Michael Dukakis, Al Gore, John Kerry, Mitt Romney, Walter Mondale, Bob Dole, John McCain, Jimmy Carter, George H.W. Bush, and Hillary Clinton. Thanks for watching this replay of Double Up Trivia. Future replays will be posted on this channel, but please come join the actual live event streaming every Sunday at 7 p.m. Pacific at twitch.tv/yearofglad. There's no cost to play and no prizes. Just show up, see what you know, and learn something new. Thanks for watching.